Hare Krishna, Dandot Pranam to all the devotees. So let us start our session with a quick recap of what we learned in the beginning of two sections of chapter 9, and then we'll try to cover. We may have to little stretch, but we'll try to cover this chapter 9 today. So who is coming forward? Hare Krishna. Hope the screen is visible, right, for all? Am I audible there?
Yes,
Yes, Prabhuji, Hare Krishna.
Yeah, Hare Krishna. Yeah, I'm not able to see the hands raised. For some reason, screen is not coming through.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu. You can start, Prabhuji.
Prabhuji, in ninth chapter, we have Krishna is revealing most confidential knowledge, and in previous chapters, Krishna covered this knowledge about the absolute and attaining the absolute. And now Krishna is revealing the most confidential knowledge. That is Raja Vidya Raja Goyam Paitram Edam Uttamam. That yes, thank you. Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Thank you, Prabhuji, to starting the discussion. Who else? Please keep the hands raised. Now I'm able to see the hands raised. Kalpana Mataji, you can summarize. Let us give opportunity to all other devotees who wish to add. Happy to see Neha Jindal Mataji coming back after some time.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Pranam.
Hare Krishna.
I could attend only 50 minutes. Yes, Prabhuji, actually, it was my exam days.
Yeah, no problem, Mataji. Continue to give your association, attend the classes as much as possible.
Can I give some points from last class, Prabhuji? I could attend 50 minutes recording.
Yeah. We will discuss. We'll touch upon Mataji.
Prabhuji, Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Yes, Chanda Mataji, go ahead.
Prabhuji, what I remember from 9th chapter, we have discussed the easiest and simplest way to reach God is the Bhakti Yoga, that is devotion. And sincere offering with the love and affection, whatever we offer to Lord Krishna, he will accept it, irrespective of size and value.
Yeah.
And surrendering, and first thing which we have discussed, that is hearing. So attentive listening, that is the most important highlights of bhakti. Bhakti, and the devotee should surrender. Surrendering should be from by heart, not only for the outer look, like just to show. It should be not like that. So this is what I remember.
Good, Mataji. So Kalpana Mataji, you please summarize. That will be a good catch up for Neha Jindal Mataji also.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna.
Prabhuji, Raja Vidya Raja Guhya, chapter 9, Prabhuji, the king of all the knowledge. You explained us that this is the best, highest of the essence of all the philosophies, and this is mainly to remember Krishna at the time of death. This can be done by practicing Bhakti Yoga, unalloyed devotion to Lord, different ways of Bhakti. How can we do? You explained, Prabhuji, Ananya Bhakti, and then you also gave us like 4 important qualifications one need to do the Bhakti Yoga, that is engaging in service of the Lord, offering obeisances, always thinking about the Lord, and always absorbed in Lord. So, example, you explained about Patram Pushpam, that sloka from 9th chapter. And hearing is one of the important thing to learn this Aishwarya Jnana. That is from first to third sloka, 9th chapter. So hearing is very important. So Shabda Pramana. So 2 important qualifications is non-enviousness and to be faithful in the Lord. That is very important. And so first sloka, you explained that we have to hear from the bona fide master from the disciplic succession. And why Arjuna received this knowledge? Because he is non-envious, he is a servitor, he was a friend of Krishna, and he surrendered completely, and he was humble and meek. That was very important. And then only God will reveal himself to his devotees who get the self realization. Then you also discussed about the importance of devotees association. We have to understand Lord's pastime glories. So examples were taken from 10th chapter and 15th chapter, where Krishna's say himself that no, constantly do in devotion with me. I'll give you the intelligence, and I'm seated in all everyone's heart, and from me only the comes the remembrance. This king of knowledge or king of all the educations, why it is very it is called as king? Because you gave us important points. Uttamam, it is transcendental. Pratyakshavagam, it is a direct experience about the self realization, unalloyed devotion. Dharmyam, because it is the perfection of the religion. Susukham, it is easily understood and joyful. Avyayam, everlasting, eternal. Prabhuji, you will be in the always in the eternal bliss once you understand this self realization. So that is what to discuss. Then importance of chanting, and the third point is one who is not faithful in the devotional service, he cannot attain Krishna. So for them, it is very difficult because they are in the stage of ignorance. You explained that stages which we have discussed before also, Prabhuji. Desires, anger, lust, and greed will lead to papam. Sorry, aparabdha karma, unmanifested form, that is leading to kutam, unmanifested form. Then it comes to a manifested form, that is prarabdha, and from there sufferings. Prabhuji. So so we have to constantly come out of this by having a full faith in Lord that He will help us. And analogy you had given us like watering the root and feeding the stomach. It will give nourishment to the entire parts of the body. One has to nourish the soul by chanting Shravanam, Kirtanam. And firm faith, you discussed about three types of adhikari, Uttama, Kanishta, and Madhyama Adhikari. Kanishta and Madhyama, there are high chances they will fall. Uttama Adhikari, because of his firm faith in God and he is completely with knowledge, he's been reading about the scriptures. There is no chance for him to fall down. And then you discussed about the material world, discussion about Krishna and the material world, then material energies, then how we have to remember Krishna. Analogy you had given, like wind blows everywhere. Prabhuji, here little I am confused. Achinta Veda Veda Tattva, you had explained, Prabhuji, by giving example that God is qualitatively one with everyone, but quantitatively he is superior. This is what we discussed.
Yes, Mataji. Thank you very much. So basically, what we have discussed is sky is the biggest manifestation of this material world, and wind is flowing, yeah, within this sky. So whatever activities of this wind is not affected to the sky. Similarly, the entire material manifestation is been created by the supreme will of the Supreme Lord. So he creates, maintains, and annihilates, not directly but through the material energies. Yeah, so he is always neutral and not affected by any of these material activities in the material platform. Right, Mataji?
Yes, Prabhuji.
And then we also touched upon, good, you have covered most of the points, and just to touch upon, we discussed about the confidential knowledge, more confidential knowledge, and most confidential knowledge. So confidential knowledge being chapter 2 to 6, knowledge of matter and spirit, knowing that we are not this body, we are the spirit soul. So that is Guhya. And then Guhyatara is the knowledge of bhakti, that among various options we have in terms of various yoga, Jnana Yoga, Ashtanga Yoga, Bhakti Yoga is the topmost this knowledge, and the Guhyatamam, the most confidential knowledge, is how to practice such unalloyed devotional service. Yeah, so this is what we have touched upon. Further, we will see in section C that non-worshippers, as well as worshippers. What is the differentiation between these two? And Krishna is the supreme object of worship. So when we see around, there are various ways people do worship. Many do impersonalism, many do demigod worship. So we realize through the sloka 9.16 to 9.25 that Krishna is the supreme object of worship, and the glories of directly worshipping Krishna. What are the glories of directly worshipping Krishna in last section 9.26 to 9.34? So thank you for all the inputs and summaries. So we will move further now. The section C, non-worshipper and worshipper, 11 and 12. This talks about those who do not consider Krishna as the supreme personality of Godhead to be considered as fools. And then 13 and 15, it talks about Mahatmas, one who surrendered to the Supreme Lord. And how do we define such a Mahatma and what are their qualifications? So we will look into this part. So those devotees who wish to recite sloka, please keep your hands raised. So this sloka will start with Kalpana Mataji. Others, please raise the hands. Yes, Kalpana Mataji, you can recite.
अवजानन्ति मामूढा मानुषीं तनुमाश्रितम् परं भावम् अजानन्तो मम भूतमहेश्वरम्. हरे कृष्ण.
Thank you, Mataji. Akshita Reddy Mataji, you wish to read this for us?
Sure, Prabhu. Fools deride me when I descend in the human form. They do not know my transcendental nature and my supreme domination over all that be.
Yes.
Hare Krishna.
Yes. So just looking at Krishna in a human form, anybody thinks he's an ordinary person is to be considered as a fool. As we discussed in our previous sloka, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Krishna, in the form of Mahavishnu, he creates, he is the reason for creation. He creates, maintains and annihilates the complete material cosmic manifestation. So such a person cannot be an ordinary human. So this is what we need to understand. Ishvara Parama Krishna Satchidananda Vigraha Nadir Govinda Sarva Karana Karanam. Brahma says he is the Parama Ishvara. There are many Ishvaras. Yeah. But Parama Ishvara is only one, that is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And here Prabhupada says that if a soul who is surrendered to Krishna can get over the influence of material nature, then how can such a person cannot be a Supreme Lord? As we know, right from an ant to the topmost demigod, they are all under the influence of material nature. Only the Supreme Lord can deliver us. So such a person cannot be an ordinary woman, ordinary human being, and anybody considering he to be an ordinary human being should be considered as a completely foolish person. And here what it is being said, those who are not understanding the transcendental nature of the Lord to be considered as fool. At the same time, what we understood in Sloka 4.9, there's a beautiful Sloka, Janma Karma cha me divyam evayo veti tatvataha tattva deham punarna janmanaiti mam eti so Arjuna. In this sloka, we understand one who knows the transcendental nature of my appearance and activities does not, upon leaving the body, take his birth again in this material world, but attains my eternal abode. So it is opposite of the ignorance. One who knows the transcendental nature will not take birth again. He will go back to Krishna. Here, Jnananti, which says understanding the Lord will lead to the liberation. Agnanati is ignorance of the Lord. Such a person will continue to take birth, continue to be in this vicious cycle of birth and death. And the third section, any misunderstanding, avagnanati, that is misunderstanding about Krishna will lead to increased bondage, and increased bondage will lead to great suffering. What we understand. So what is important is to take shelter of bona fide spiritual master, and listen to the Krishna Katha from a bona fide source. That way you get the knowledge. Otherwise, many times when we are under any mental speculators, then misunderstand. It will only lead to misunderstanding, further bondage and suffering. This is the key learning from the shloka. Neha Jindal Mataji, you wish to read this shloka?
Sure. मोघशामोघकर्माणो मोघज्ञानाविचेतसः रक्षासिंहासुरीं चैव प्रकृतिं मोहिनीं श्रितः.
Thank you, Mataji. Vijay Prabhu, can you please read this translation for us?
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Those who are thus bewildered are attracted by demonic and atheistic views. In that deluded condition, their hopes for liberations are their fruitive activities, and the culture of knowledge are all defeated.
Yeah.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Thank you, Prabhu. Chanda Mataji, be ready for reciting next shloka. So
Yes.
here it is continuation of 9:11, that those who continue to consider Krishna as an ordinary person will be bewildered and are attracted by demonic and atheistic views. And secondly, those who engage in fruitive activities and expecting the fruits of those activities, who are ultimately hoping to be liberated, such endeavors will not be successful, is what Prabhupada says in the purport. And person who mocks Krishna are to be understood here as demonic and atheistic person. Yeah. And in chapter 7, we have understood such atheistic demonic person will never surrender to the Lord. And it is considered as great offense. Therefore, considering Krishna to be an ordinary person, Krishna's pastimes are considering to be ordinary, they are all considered as great offense and atheistic person. Their destiny is to certainly to take birth after birth after birth into a atheistic and demonic life and continue to glide down to the darkest region of hell, is what we understand from the purport. And such people, demonic people, fate of Duratma, what will happen to such Duratma? They are attracted by demonic and atheistic views, and hope for liberation, fruitive activities, and culture of knowledge are all defeated. So they are not going anywhere. Chanda Mataji, you wish to recite this
Yes,
shloka?
Prabhuji. Yes, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Yes.
महात्मानस्तु मां पार्थ देवी प्रकृतिमाश्रिताः भजन्तनन्यमनसो ज्ञात्वा भूतादिं वयम्. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Mataji. Shivakumar Prabhuji, can you please read this translation for us?
Hare Krishna Prabhu.
Yes, Prabhu.
O son of Pratha, those who are not deluded, the great souls are under the protection of the divine nature. They are fully engaged in devotional service because they know me as the Supreme Personality of Godhead, original and inexhaustible. Hare Krishna Prabhu. That was
Right.
Pranam.
Thank you, Prabhuji. So here the definition of Mahatmas is given, and it's a very important shloka to note. One who is not under the control of material nature. Yeah, that is Mahatma. And how one can achieve that? One who surrenders to the Supreme Lord, Shri Krishna, at once become freed from such control of material nature, is what it is said. When a soul is surrendered to Lord, he puts under the guidance of superior nature. And Devi Prakriti Ashritam is under the guidance of divine nature, right? And is any mention of Radha Rani in Bhagavad Gita or people may question that we give so much of importance to Radharani, but there is no mention of Radharani in Bhagavad Gita. There can be, somebody can challenge. Is there any mention?
The energy which is mentioned in Bhagavad Gita, that is Radharani, but with the name, it is not personified here in Bhagavad Gita.
Yes, Mataji, right answer. So here the divine Prakriti, divine energy, which is also known as Ahladini Shakti of the Lord. So when we are surrendering to the Supreme Lord, we are directly under the shelter and protection of Srimati Radharani. When we are surrendering, what we are expected to do? We are expected to serve the Lord. And the highest devotion, the highest level of devotion come from Radharani, and we will all be serving the Lord under the guidance and protection of Srimati Radharani. And here through this sloka, Radharani's name is been indirectly mentioned, and in a covered way it is mentioned. Next again is a very nice and important shloka. Devotees who are comfortable reciting, keep your hands raised. Saheli Bose Mataji, are you okay to unmute and recite this shloka?
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Pranam Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna.
Yeah, Bhagavad Gita 9.14. Satatam Tirtha Yanto Mam Yadantasya Bijabhata Namasyantasya Mamatya Nitya Yukta Upasate.
Thank you, Mataji. Karuna Mataji, can you please read the translation for us?
Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Yeah.
Always chanting my glories, endeavoring with great determination, bowing down before me, these great souls perpetually worship me with devotion. Thank you, Prabhuji.
Thank you, Mataji. Satatam Kirtam Yantoma. These are the symptoms of Mahatmas. This is what is described in this shloka. One who is always engaged in chanting the glories of the Supreme Lord, Lord Sri Krishna, and he has no other business. He is always engaged in glorification of Lord. Such a person is known as Mahatma. And such a person has a complete determination in the process given by our Guru Acharyas, and he progress in Krishna consciousness. He engage all his activity keeping Krishna in center and attain Krishna consciousness. So for example, in devotional service, there are various activities like fasting on Ekadashi, waking up in Brahma Muhurta, following regulative principles. All these are recommended by our Acharyas to fix up ourselves in Krishna consciousness and rise to that level. So when we are following this process, there is a beautiful sloka. How do we fix up in this process? From Nectar of Instructions, sloka 3, which gives the six ways of one rising in Krishna consciousness or devotional service. It says, Utsaham Nischayam Dairya Tat Karma Pravartanat Sangatyaga Sato Vritte Shadbir Bhaktir Prasiddhyate. So when we are engaging in devotional service, first of all, what is required is enthusiasm. As soon as if there is any service opportunity, it should not be taken up under some force or some obligations. The enthusiasm should be within us. Yeah, as soon as any services come, we have to enthusiastically take it up and endeavoring with confidence. When we are taking up any devotional service, any practice we are doing, sadhana bhakti, there are lot of disturbances, lot of hindrances, hurdles in our path. So one who is patiently with determination holding on to it, that is one of the sign. And being patient and acting according to the regulative principles and abandoning all the association of non-devotees. This is again is very important. Abandoning the association of non-devotees and following the footsteps of our previous acharyas. And then as you progress, what is important from beautiful shloka from Sikshastakam. Ya Trinadapi Sunichena Tarorapi Sahishnuna Amanina Manadena Kirtaniya Sadahari. So it says, one who thinks himself to be the lower than grass and tolerant than a tree, give respect to others, everybody, and do not expect any respect in return. Such a person can continuously, Satatam Kirtam Yantoma, continuously he can chant. So this is the beauty. While talking about third sloka of Sikshastakam, how many of you recite Sikshastakam regularly? Generally in
Prabhuji.
temples, every
In
day before
temples,
starting our
Sunday.
chanting,
Mangala.
we recite Sikshastakam.
Yes, Prabhu. After Mangala.
Yes.
Yes, Prabhuji.
Yeah. Now, when I read through Sikshastakam, I read most of the days, before starting my chanting, I read Sikshastakam. If you see the entire Krishna consciousness, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, who is Krishna himself, has given the complete Krishna consciousness philosophy in these 8 shlokas. Prabhupada has written about 80 books. Yeah. Let me just try to dig out Sikshastakam. Thought of spending few minutes on Sikshastakam. You able to see the sloka here? Sikshastakam.
Yes, Prabhu.
Yeah, if you see how we need to, the entire Krishna consciousness, whatever Prabhupada has said, if you see deeply, if you try to read, you will find this. Starting with Cheto Darpanamarjanam Bhavamahadavagni Nirvapanam Shreya Kairava Chandrika Vitaranam Vidyavadu Jivanam Ananda Buddhivardhanam Pratipadam Purnamrita Swadanam Sarvatmasnapanam Param Vijete Shri Krishna Sankirtanam. Prabhupada says 90% of our spiritual progress is depending on our quality of chanting, offenseless chanting. When you read this, the translation, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says, glory is to Sri Krishna Sankirtana, which cleanses the heart of all the dust accumulated for years and extinguishes the fire of conditional life of repeated birth and death. This Sankirtana movement is a prime benediction for humanity at large because it spreads the ray of benediction moon. It is the life of all transcendental knowledge. It increases the ocean of transcendental bliss and it enables us to fully taste the nectar for which we are always anxious. The first and foremost, the Sankirtana movement only can extinguish the fire of conditioned life. We are struggling with this repeated birth and death. Only this Sankirtana movement, chanting of holy name, can only relieve us from this. Yeah. This, the first philosophy of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Next, this is again is very, very important, which says, Nam Nam Akari Bahuda Nija Sarva Shakti Tatrarpita Niyamita Smarena Kala Etadrishi Tava Kripa Bhagavan Mamapi Durdaiva Idarsha Hyajani Nanuraga. Yeah. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is Krishna himself. What is he telling here? O my Lord, your holy names alone can render all benediction to the living being, and thus you have hundreds and millions of names like Krishna and Govinda. In this transcendental name, you have invested all the transcendental energies. There are not even hard and fast rule for chanting this name. This is more important. O my Lord, out of kindness, you have enabled us to easily approach you by your holy names, but I am so unfortunate that I have no attraction for them. Little chanting what we do, little 16 rounds what we do, we become so proud about our accomplishments. But here Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is chanting all the time. He says, unfortunate that I have no attraction for them. This is the mood with which our Guru Acharyas approach Krishna. How do we understand this? For example, the kids at home are with us and every day we see them. We don't give too much of importance. At the same time, when the kids go out for some higher education or somewhere, to studies in hostel and other things, we feel that separation. So the real love to Krishna is not that we feeling that Krishna is always with us and we are the greatest devotees in this world. No, in the separation, only the true transcendental love will come out. Just to realize that we are in this material body itself should say that we are away from Krishna. We are here in this material body, in this material, because of still our purification is going on. Till the day we wake up every day in the morning, first thing we need to understand is still there is some purification within us. Only because of that, still I have not gone back to the abode of Krishna. Every day is an opportunity. Every day we should be grateful. As said, many demigods take thousands of years of tapasya to take birth in this material world. We are there, but we are not able to understand. Unfortunate that we are not able to realize this greatest opportunity. Every moment is a moment to our purification by chanting the holy name and purification. So this should be the mode. And how can we rise to that level? Is Trinadapi Sunichena Tarorapi Sahisnuna Amanina Manadena Kirtaniya Sadahari. This we have discussed. Further, the fourth sloka. Now, what kind of detachment we need to have from this material world? Na dhanam na janam na sundarim kavita va jagadisha kamaye mama janmani janmanishware bhavatad bhakti rahitu kitvai. Oh Almighty Lord, I have no desire to accumulate wealth, nor do I desire a beautiful woman, nor do I want any number of followers. I only want your causeless devotional service birth after birth. We all think that chanting holy names, following four regulative principles, this lifetime only we want to go back to the Goloka. But the actual devotees, in fact, Srila Haridas Thakur, the Namacharya Haridas Thakur, when Chaitanya Mahaprabhu got pleased by his sadhana, when he asked, what you want? He says, I don't want anything, but if you really want to give me something, please make me a dog in a devotee's house eating the remnants. I would like to purify further. Yeah, this is the standards what our Guru Acharyas have kept. And then here, this is again a beautiful sloka. Most of us have seen many devotees started connecting with Krishna with some or the other rasa. Could be a gopi, could be a friend, could be a father, mother, or a friend. Here, if you see, Ai Nanda Tanuja Kinkaram Patita Mam Vishame Bhavam Buddho Kripaya Tava Pada Pankaja Stita Doli Sadarsham Vichantaya. What Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is telling here. O son of Maharaja Nanda, I am your eternal servant. Yet, somehow or the other, I have fallen into this ocean of birth and death. Please pick me up from this ocean of death and place me as one of the atoms at your lotus feet. These are all very, very deep realization for us to rise. This again is a beautiful shloka. Nayanam galad ashrudaraya vadanam gadagada rudaya gira pulakir nichitam vapukada tavanam agrahane bhavishyati. Oh my Lord, when will my eyes be decorated with tears of love flowing constantly when I chant your holy name? When will my voice choke up? And when will my hairs of my body stand up on the end at the recitation of your name? Yugayitam nimishena chakshusha pravarshaitam shunyaitam jagat sarvam govinda virahena me. Oh Govinda, feeling your separation, I am considering a moment to be like 12 years or more. Tears are flowing from my eyes like torrents of rain, and I am feeling all vacant in this world in your absence. So that level of deep separation. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Krishna is always in the heart. He is in the mood of Radharani. He is Krishna. But Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came to feel the mood of a devotee, right? So this is how the devotees are feeling to the Lord, that every moment they feel like it is 12 years away to going back to Krishna. And the last sloka is the icing on the cake, what we say. This is exactly the mood of Srimati Radharani. Ashlishavapādaratam pinastumam adarshanam marmahatam karotu va yata tata va vidatu lampato mat prananatas tusa evanapara. Little difficulty we face. We first question Krishna, why me? Here, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in the mood of Radharani, I know no one but Krishna as my Lord, and he shall remain so even if he handles me roughly by his embrace or make me broken-hearted by not being present before me. He is completely free to do anything, everything, for he is always my worshipable Lord, unconditionally. When I every day pray this, the mood at which I pray this is, I may never attain this kind of level of devotion to the Lord. All I request to the Lord is, please keep me under the shelter of such devotees who are in this mood, continuing to serve them so that they can serve you nicely in this mood. Please keep me under such devotee shelter. Yeah. So this is my mood. Such a beautiful Sikshastakam slokas. Yeah. Hope you all gone to different world altogether reading this. I'm not sure how many of you have given so much of importance to Sikshastakam and read in this mood. Thought I will share whatever I feel when I read Sikshastakam with you all, discussing the pure devotional service and how to perform pure devotional service. If you sincerely, with heart, if you read through Sikshastakam every day, you will rise in your devotion and the mood to serve the Lord.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Thank you for taking us that era that where actually when I read, I understood that is different way. But the way you have explained, literally, it is so gone under into the like diving in the ocean in the spirituality where I'm just diving and getting into Krishna, Krishna, and Krishna.
True.
Thank you,
True,
Prabhuji.
Mataji. It's so nice to read through all these things. Further, what are the external activities of Mahatmas? Satatam Kirtayantomam, always chanting the glories, always hearing to the Katha of the Lord, Hari Katha. I truly appreciate so many devotees. Sunday evening, you could take out time and come here for this discussion. So these are all signs we need to further improve. By Krishna's mercy, we have little of all these things. Now, through this sadhana bhakti, we have to purify ourselves and rise to be like this. And always chanting the glories. Yeah. He can live this life in devotional service guided by an expert spiritual master and in any position. So all of us can practice this bhakti, and being an householder or a brahmachari, sannyasi, grihastha, in any position we can continue keeping Krishna in center, performing all our activities as a devotional service to the Lord. Such people can become actually the Mahatma, a great soul. And somebody can again ask, just like I asked a question about Radharani. Somebody can ask, we give so much of importance for chanting the holy name, right? Where in Bhagavadgita has said that you have to always chant the holy names? Can anybody answer?
Prabhuji, 18th chapter and shloka number 68, Sarva Dharman Parityaja Mamekam Sharanam Vraja. So it is an indication, Sharanam Vraja, how we can go Sharanagati. Sharanagati, so the way the Bhakti Yoga and all the ways given by Lord Krishna, that is the way where we got this Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna, the name, in the name he is there. So we chant the Krishna, Krishna and Krishna.
Yes. So this sloka 18.68 more gives importance of surrender. Yes, you are partly right. At advanced level, we can connect this, but somebody challenging you that, where is it? where it is said in Bhagavad Gita that you have to keep chanting Hare Krishna Mahamantra. There is so much of versions of Bhagavad Gita, so many people having Bhagavad Gita. When we say chant the holy name, anybody can challenge. So any further answer, further let us probe. Where is it? It is said in Bhagavad Gita that we have to chant the holy names.
This sloka was only the answer, Prabhu. Satvam Kirtayanto.
Yes. So Satatam Kirtamayantom, Kirtana, Satatam Kirtana. Continuously chanting constantly chanting the glories of the holy name. Again, somebody can challenge. It is talking about glories of the Lord. It is not saying about the chanting of holy name. What is the answer for that?
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. I don't know if I'm wrong, but I think somewhere in 10th chapter it is given, Prabhuji. I don't exactly remember.
Yeah. Tell me, Mataji, what is that given? My question is, Satatam Kirtanantoma. So somebody can challenge you who is not following Prabhupada book. Somebody with some Bhagavad Gita, he can come and challenge you. It is talking about the glories of the Lord Krishna. It is not talking about Hare Krishna Mahamantra. What is your answer? Hare Krishna. These are all basic foundations of us.
Prabhuji, can it be that the holy name actually signifies the Lord's glories, all his attributes? So when we chant his holy name, obviously we are chanting his glories. So it's a directive from the Lord that chant my glories and bow down before me, etc. So when we bow down before Radharani and endeavor to ask her to please help us to attain the lotus feet of the Lord, it shows the entire bulk of our devotion. Why are we devoted? Why are we trying to perform the service? Why are we trying to go to the Lord? All that is summarized within this, isn't it, Prabhuji?
Yes, Mataji. So, simple answer is, in Kali Yuga, how do Krishna manifest?
In the
Kali
holy name,
Kale,
Prabhuji.
Kali Kale Nama Rupe Krishna Avatar.
Exactly.
Right? Kali Kale Nama Rupe Krishna Avatar. Abhinnatvam Nama Namine. So, Krishna and holy names is non-different. So, Satatam Kirtayantoma, when we are continuously chanting the holy name, we are glorifying the Supreme Lord.
Lord. Prabhuji, one other point I thought I should mention.
Yes, Mataji.
May I?
Yes, please go ahead, Mataji.
You know, Prabhuji, when the Lord says that you must get the information about me from authorized acharyas, when the acharya, who is the founder, he's telling us that this is the holy name, this is what you have to do in this particular yuga to be able to realize the Lord, or at least make improvements in your own devotional service, then we have to listen to what their founder acharya is telling us. Because that is the directive again of the Lord, that you have to listen to authorized representatives, not any random person.
Exactly.
So that's a direct command from the Lord, that you listen to my representatives, they will show you the way. So our Acharya is showing us this way.
Correct.
That's
Yes,
what.
Mataji. So already in our previous chapters, we have discussed at length about the 4 bona fide sampradayas and the acharyas, guru acharyas coming through this bona fide sampradaya. They are all telling the one thing, which is glorifying the name of the Supreme Lord. Yeah. So chanting the holy name is the highest duty of all the living entities in this material world, in this Kali Yuga.
Yes, Prabhuji.
Let
Hare
us now
Krishna.
move further to the next sloka. Keep the hands raised. Kalpana Mataji, you can go ahead.
Hare
We have
Krishna.
so many slokas to cover, so please keep the hands raised so we don't lose out on time.
ज्ञानयज्ञेन चापण्ये यजन्तो माम् उपासते एकत्वेन पृथक्त्वेन बहुधा विश्वतोमुखम्. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Mataji. Padmini Mataji, can you please read the translation for us?
Yes, Prabhuji. Others who engage in sacrifice by the cultivation of knowledge worship the Supreme Lord as the one without a second, as diverse in many, and in the universal form. Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Thank you, Mataji. So here there are three levels of people who worship the Lord. It's been discussed. The first level we discussed about the Mahatmas, who are the pure devotees of the Lord, who have completely surrendered to the Lord. Those are Mahatmas. Next category is four kind of people who approach Krishna. Who are the four kind of category of people who approach Krishna?
Artho Jigyasu Arthate Jnani Cha
Yes,
Bharatashra.
Artho Arthati Jignasu Gnani, right? So one who is distressed, one who is looking for financial gains, one who is inquisitive, and one who want to gain the real knowledge. And this sloka talks about the third category of people, in which it talks about the three kind of people. One is Ekatvena, one who worship himself, one with the Supreme Lord. The second is they concord some form and then they consider that is the Lord and they worship. And third is the one who Vishwato Mukham, who consider the universal form, Vishwarupa, as the Supreme Personality of Godhead. This is the third category of people. So who are the one who consider themselves to be a Lord, Ekatvena? Who thinks they will become one with the Lord?
Mayavadi.
Yes, Mayavadis. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu specifically gives something about Mayavad. What does Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says for Mayavadis? Mayavadis are?
Krishna Aparadis.
Yes, Mayavadis are Krishna Aparadis. Why is Mayavadis are Krishna Aparadis?
They believe in God, but God has no form.
Yes. For example, there is a maid servant at home. After serving for 10 years, can she become the owner of the house? No, right? Similarly, Krishna is the Supreme Master. We will continue to be his eternal servants. Yeah, that is one of the things. Second is the demigod worshippers. They will concord some form and they consider it as a Supreme Lord and consider ultimately they will all reach to the same destination. And then third is Vishwato Mukham, one who accept universal form, Vishwarupa, as the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So why such devotee you consider Vishwarupa is also under this category? Hare Krishna. Why somebody who is accepting universal form of the Lord in the category of Mayavadis, who are known as Krishna Aparadis, or demigods, who are more considered as the most unintelligent people? Why? Any answers?
Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Yes, Mataji.
Because they are not worshipping the personal form of the Lord.
Okay. So anyway, we will discuss in detail in chapter 11, but what we need to understand is the universal form is temporary and not spiritual. It is on the material platform. And if you see the rasa, the bhava of Arjuna when he saw the universal form, what was the bhava? He was completely in a terrible state, right? So in that state, can we offer a loving exchange of service to the Lord? So that is the reason the loving form, the Shama Sundara form, is always loving. So that is much superior than the universal form. But there are people who want to see the Lord in not in two-handed the Shama Sundara form. They want to see in a universal form. Only then they think that he is something great. So such people are also in this category. Now let us move to the further next section, which talks more about the worshipper of universal form as well as worshipper of demigod, what they are known as. So next sloka, Shanti Sudesh Mataji, you want to unmute and recite this sloka?
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, I'm outside. I won't be able to read today.
Okay, no problem, Mataji. Thanks for joining us. Neha Jindal Mataji, please go ahead.
Aham pratur aham yajna swadhaham aham aushadham mantroham aham evagyam aham agnir aham hutam.
Thank you, Mataji. Madhura Manasi Ganga Mataji, can you please read the translation for us? Shweta Mataji, can you please unmute and read the translation?
But it is I who am the ritual, I the sacrifice, the offering, the ancestors, the healing herb, the transcendental chant. I am the butter and the fire and the offering.
Yes. Butter and the fire and the offering, everything is Krishna, is what Krishna is declaring. The Vedic sacrifice, also known as Jyotistoma, is also Krishna. The oblations offered to Pitruloka or the sacrifices performed to please the Pitrus is also Krishna, is what he's saying. And the fire is also known as Krishna, because fire is also one of the material elements and therefore claimed as a separated energy of Krishna. In other words, what Prabhupada says is those who are engaged in rendering devotional service unto Krishna are to be understood that they have performed all the sacrifices which is recommended in the Vedas. All the sacrifices are recommended in the Veda. Just by chanting the holy name, just by engaging in devotional service, all that benefit is already been given to such a devotee. Jyoti Mataji, I saw you raising the hand. You wish to recite this sloka?
Hare Krishna Prabhu. I raise hand for translation, Prabhuji.
Translation, okay. So, Kalpana Mataji, please go ahead.
पिताहं यस्य जगतो माता धाता पितामहः वेद्यं पवित्रम् ओंकार ऋक्सामयज एव च.
Thank you, Mataji. So, Jyoti Gupta Mataji, please read the translation.
Thank you, Prabhuji. I am the father of this universe, the mother, the supporter, and the grandsire. I am the object of knowledge, the purifier, and the syllable Om. I am also the Arke, the Sama, and the Yajur Vedas.
Yeah, Rig Veda, Sama Veda, and Yajur Vedas. So, request as you are all progressing Bhakti Shastri, take some effort to recite sloka, learn sloka. What you can, there are many, if you go to YouTube or even with us, I think we have sloka recitation classes or even audios we have. So please try to learn sloka recitation, because as Bhakti Shastri students, you are expected to go on to preach these glories of Bhagavadgita to many more students like all of us. So you need to prepare, you need to put that efforts. These are all opportunity. Why I give you is you pick up the skills of sloka recitation. So you sweat more in training, bleed less in war. Right? So these are all opportunities. You have to learn to recite slokas. So please practice. So here
next
from
time,
this.
Prabhuji. Next time I'll definitely try, Prabhuji. Thank you so much.
Yes. It is a general message for all the devotees.
Yes. But next time, next class, at least 1 or 2 shloka I will recite.
Hari Bol Mataji. Hari Bol.
Thank you so much.
Yeah. In fact, I have practiced all these things. I have never knew any of the slokas. When I started my Krishna consciousness journey, reciting sloka was one of the toughest thing for me. But when we put our endeavors, Krishna sanctions, our Guru Parampara sanctions, by their mercy, we will all pick up. Yeah. If I can pick up to some extent, you all can do much better than me. I'm pretty confident about it. Yeah. And then from this sloka, the entire cosmic manifestation, moving and non-moving, are manifested by different activities of Krishna's energy. So this is what we understood from Ishavasya principle. Ishavasyamidam sarvam yatkincha jagatan jagattena taktvena bhunjita magrada kashyasviddanam. Krishna says everything animate or inanimate that is within the universe is controlled and owned by me. So everything is Krishna's, is what we get to know. And in the material existence, all the relationships what we have is related with the Krishna. So the father, mother, support, everybody in a way, Krishna is residing in everybody's heart, and every relationship, in fact, people what they think in their ignorance, if you take up bhakti, you will get detached from the material world and you will be away from everybody. But one who has learned the scriptures from the right sources, he will realize that every relationship in our life is sanctioned by Krishna. It is our purification, our past karmas. Yeah. And we see Krishna in everybody's heart and we give best of our abilities. We try to be the best, and practicing Krishna consciousness only bring the best in us in maintaining our relationship as well with our spouse, with our parents, with our children, with our friends, society. We become much better. It only brings the best out of it, not the other way around. And in material existence, we create different relationship with different living entity who are nothing but Krishna's marginal energy. That is how we see Pandita Samadarshinaha. Yeah. All our relatives, we see them as the part and parcel of the Supreme Lord. And further what it is said, the Omkara, all the Vedas, all the Vedic mantras, the word it starts from Omkara, the transcendental sound vibration, and it is also Krishna. And because all the hymns of 4 Vedas, starting from Omkara, it is understood that it is all essence is Krishna. All the Vedas, ultimately it should lead to the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Further, there is no shloka here, it is only translation. Praveen K. Prabhuji, can you please read these 2 shlokas for us? Your voice is not coming through, Prabhu. Can you increase the volume? Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
I'm driving on the highway. Just 1 second, I'll read.
No problem, Prabhu. Then you safely
Can I
drive.
read, Prabhuji?
Safely
Can
drive.
I read, Prabhuji?
Yes, go ahead, Mataji.
Hare Krishna. Dandavat Prabhuji. 9.18. I am the goal, the sustainer, the master, the witness, the abode, the refuge, and the most dear friend. I am the creation and the annihilation, the basis of everything, the resting place, and the eternal seat. Hare Krishna. Thanks, Prabhuji.
Thank you, Mataji.
This also, can I read, Prabhuji? 9.19.
19 also, please read.
O Arjuna, I control heat, the rain, and the drought. I am immortality, and I am also death personified. Both being and non-being are in me. Hare Krishna. Thanks, Prabhuji.
Thank you, Mataji. Why I ask you all to recite shloka? One is practicing, but there are much higher purpose for this. Other day, I was listening to the Gita Mahatmyam. There is a very beautiful story which has come, in which it says, there was one Brahmana, somehow he gets into lot of abominable activities, and then he takes a birth of an ox, right? And one fine day, he was carrying lot of load, and he was climbing a uphill thing, and he was almost at the very fag end, he completely collapsed and he was about to die. A lot of people are passing by. One Vaishya, a prostitute, was passing by, and she looks at this ox which is about to die. She says that in a merciful way, she says that whatever little pious deeds I have, I wish to transfer this to this ox. Yeah. And then after some time, that lady just passes off, and this ox dies, and it goes, and next birth it takes a birth of a Brahmana, and he realized his past birth, and he wanted to know that the Vaishya, what kind of pious deed she might have done, because of which I am an ox and I got a body of a Brahmana. And when he search and when he goes to that Vaishya who is almost very old by that time, he get to know that she doesn't know anything about Bhagavad Gita. There was one parrot which was in her home, and that parrot was previously was in some sadhu's house where they used to recite Bhagavad Gita. That parrot knows only one sloka: Dharma Kshetre Kurukshetre Samaveta Yutsava. It keeps chanting this sloka, and she keeps listening to this. Just by listening one sloka of Bhagavad Gita, that pious deed, the punya, what we say, what she got, could give an ox a birth of a Brahmana. So whatever we are able to recite the Bhagavad Gita, and whatever we are able to hear the glories of Bhagavad Gita, we actually don't know what kind of deeds we are accumulating in Krishna consciousness. The millions and millions of births of anarthas what we have accumulated, it is all getting purified through this. So just by reciting one sloka, you get purified. So that is the opportunity you are all getting. So you need to grab this opportunity whenever you are getting. Yes, this is also is a training ground for you to take up preaching activity. It is going to help you, but there is a lot of higher purpose when we are engaging in these discussions. Right? Now coming back to this shloka, the gati, in this word, gati, the destination, where we want to go. What is our ultimate goal? What is our ultimate goal? Can anybody say?
Prabhuji, the lotus feet of the Lord.
Yes, lotus feet of the Lord. Any more answers?
Goloka, Prabhuji.
Goloka. Good. Anything
Krishna
more?
eternal
Attaining
services
Krishna Prema.
Krishna Prema. Very nice. What more?
to regain our eternal position.
Eternal position. Yes. What more?
Charanadhuli, Prabhuji.
Charanadhuli. Charanadhuli of whom? Lord?
Lord.
Yes. What more?
Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Doing service to the devotees.
Yes. So service to the devotees. Our Guru Acharyas, they are not bothered to go back to Krishna. They're not bothered to go back to Goloka. At our neophyte level, we want to go back to Goloka, but at higher level, when you see our Guru Acharyas, what they say, wherever I am, I want the association of devotees. Wherever I am, I should be able to serve the devotees. Through serving devotees, those devotees can serve you for your pleasure. Yeah, these are all very high level. We have to rise to that level. Yeah. At least our fortunate, we need to be grateful by the mercy of Krishna, by the mercy of Prabhupada and the devotees, we are able to come to this level of at least understanding to say Krishna Prema, Goloka, everything we are able to see wherever we are able to say. 99% of the people, you just ask, what is your goal in life? They don't even know what is Krishna, what is devotional service. They say 5 years down the line, I want to be so and so in my material world. I need to have so much of bank balance. I need to build my own house. I need to have my own car. I need to go on a foreign vacation. This is what we get to hear, right? And many are in worshipping demigods. They want to reach. We discussed in our previous chapters. They want to reach Chandraloka, Suryaloka, Indraloka. Yeah. just by serving the devotees, serving our Guru Parampara, pleasing the Lord, we can all go back to our abode. So what it is said is directly approach. When there is an express lift elevator, don't climb the stairs. Right? And in this process, there is going to be a lot of hurdles. Rake Krishna Mare Krishna Rake. Lot of negative thoughts keep coming, right? If you see, many of my friends I have seen, they are always thinking so much and always stressed out. One of my friend don't sleep all night thinking of future. What may happen to me? They're always stressed out. We also go through many such anxieties. Always one thing, and we try to speculate on that. One thing which we need to rise to the level is Rake Krishna Mare Krishna Rake. If something bad has to happen in my life, if it is what Krishna desires, we have to take it as mercy of Krishna. We may deserve much more, but whatever difficulty we have to face, it is mercy of Krishna. But at the same time, if Krishna is our protector, no thought, no negative thought can harm us. As per even material calculation, 95% of our fear, as per statistics, 95% of our fear of failure or whatever it is do not come true. In my early days of my career, when I have to give some presentation, the stage fear is considered as the fear even higher than fear of death. Facing an audience, giving a lecture, it is considered even higher than fear of death. There are so many thoughts keep coming into us. What if he asked me this question? What if he asked me that question? What if I don't know the answer? Hope many of you have experienced such fear. This is just an example I'm giving, but such 95% of the fear will not come true, and unnecessarily we are wasting time on that. And another 4%, even if such questions come, 4% somehow we will manage something and we answer something. And 1%, no harm in saying you don't know, I can come back to you. Right? For that 1% possibility, 99% we are going through so much of anxiety. So this is a practical life application what I am trying to bring you, that when you are surrendered to Krishna, be secured. You are in a safe hands. Next two shlokas. Who wishes to grab this opportunity? Let me see. Without me taking name, somebody wishes to take up. After me telling the story. Who is that?
This is Jyotima Prabhuji. Can I read it?
Haribol Mataji. You are already purified for the day, Mataji. Let us see. Somebody who has not participated yet is to take up. Who is that? Anybody there who has not participated yet and can unmute and...
I can read Mataji. Prabhuji.
Yes, go ahead.
Those who study the Vedas and drink the Somajusa seeking the heavenly planets worship me indirectly. They take birth on the planet of Indra where they enjoy godly delights. When they have thus enjoyed heavenly sense pleasure, they return to this mortal planet again. Thus, through the Vedic principles, they achieve only flickering happiness.
Thank you, Mataji. So, in purport, Prabhupada says the Brahmana who studies the Vedas, Sama, Yajur, Rig Veda, is known as Trivedis. Such Trivedis, he is completely taken shelter of the Lord. But today, as the modern times, many great scholars, even after reading three Vedas, do not know the supremacy of the Lord. Yeah. Therefore, Krishna declares himself to be the ultimate goal for all such Trivedis. And we are now moving further to the results of worshipping demigod. What will happen by worshipping the demigods? So devotional service when we have discussed the devotional, how do we, the starting of devotional service, Shravanam, Kirtanam, Smaranam, the devotional service, chanting the holy name, Hare Krishna Mahamantra, trying to understand the absolute truth. But many students of the Vedas take up the Karma Kanda section and end up doing the demigod worship and ask for many material gains rather than asking for the pure devotional service. Yeah. So perform yajna, they wish to go to Swarga. When they acquire such credits, they go to Swarga, enjoy there. And what happens? After a lot of pleasure, they have to come back to the material world. This again is a very beautiful shloka. Santoshi Bopana Mataji, you wish to read this shloka?
Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna.
Ananyas Chintayanto Mama Ye Janan Pariyupasate Tas Tesam Nitya Biyuktanam Yogakshemam Vahami Aham.
Yogakshemam Vahamyaham. This is a very important line in this shloka. Aruna Mataji, you want to read the translation for us? Aruna Mataji.
Yes, Mataji. But those who worship me with devotion, meditating on my transcendental form, to them I carry what they lack and preserve what they have. Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Thank you, Mataji. Two important things we need to understand from this. This is my favorite line. If we are sincere and serious to progress, even though we are not purified yet, Krishna is promising here, I carry what they lack and preserve what they have. So Krishna will preserve whatever little bhakti what we have, and Krishna will give what we lack. But our endeavors should be sincere and we need to be serious to progress. Ananyas chintayantoma, one who is unable to live for a moment without Krishna consciousness, cannot but think of Krishna 24/7. Yeah. Being engaged in devotional service, such a devotee can make his life perfect in this lifetime only. For that, what should be the mood? Anya abhilashita shunyam jnana karmadi anavrutam anukulasya krishnanushilanam bhakti ruchyate. So without any ulterior motives, when we want to serve the Lord, we can become in this, we can rise to this level of devotion. His only desire is to achieve the association of the Lord. Such devotee undoubtedly approaches the Lord without any difficulty. Waking up in Brahma Muhurta, chanting 16 rounds, following 4 regulative principles. There are so many rules and regulations, but one who is dedicated to progress, it is all very easy. Now, most of us, when we started Krishna consciousness, this was such a difficult thing, but now it becomes natural for us, right? This life, what we are living, it is so natural and it's so blissful. So by the mercy of the Lord, such devotees who have dedicated their life in such a way, do not come back to this material condition of life. Kshema refer to the merciful protection of the Lord. Yoga kshemam vahamyaham. We are under the protection of the Lord. And Lord helps such devotee to further progress. Even if we want to live, even if we have to live, we want to live, Krishna will not leave us. Some or the other way, Krishna will try to pull us from that. So we will further discuss on such philosophy in our further shloka. Madhura Manasi Ganga Mataji, you wish to recite this shloka?
Yepi anya devata bhaktya yajante sradhya vitaha tepi mameva kaunteya yajanti avidhi purvakam. Hare Krishna Prabhu.
Thank you, Mataji. So here, We are touching on demigod worship. Vijay Prabhu, you wish to read the translation for us?
Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna.
Whatever a man may sacrifice to other gods, O son of Kunti, is really meant for me alone, but it is offered without true understanding. Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Thank you, Prabhu. Here it is said as avidhi purvakam. The person who are engaged in the worship of demigod are not very intelligent. Why is it said so? We all have come to this path worshipping the demigod. We continue to worship demigod, but here it is said as non-intelligent. What is the context we need to be absolutely clear about? Can somebody put some light on this?
Hare Krishna Prabhu.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Prabhu, demigod worship is all pertaining to karma kanda and fruitive results. And if we worship demigods, we will land up in the Devalok. We cannot land up in Goloka. And whatever good deeds we accumulate, even if a person goes to Devlok, his good deed account balance will come to zero at one time, because he will enjoy that devlok for some time, and then again he will have to come back to this material world. So demigod worship will no way take us to Goloka. Like, we cannot get out of the cycle of birth and death. We have to come back again. Whereas worshipping Krishna will take us to Goloka, from where we will not have to get into this cycle of birth and death once again.
Yes, yes.
Hare
But a counter question is, it is open for all. A counter question is, demigods are also great devotees of the Lord. And our Guru Acharya says that we can't directly serve the Lord, we have to please the devotees of the Lord. Then how do we understand this?
Prabhu, if we worship Lord Krishna, the demigods are also satisfied. The demigods are also happy. It is like, if the main person is served, it is like watering the root. So if we are worshipping the root, that is the cause of all causes, Sarva Karana Karanam, that is Lord Krishna. It is like watering the root. It will go to the branches and the leaves also. So if we are worshipping the Sarva Karana Karanam, then even the demigods will also be satisfied with our worship to the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Prabhu.
Yes, Mataji. This answer is the other side of the coin. There is another side of the coin. Yeah, worshipping the Lord, even demigods will be satisfied. Here the question is, demigods are also the devotees of the Lord. And our Acharya says Vaishnavana. Now Lord Shiva is Vaishnavana Yata Sammo, is the topmost Vaishnava. And we have to serve the Vaishnavas. In fact, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says Dasanu Dasanu Dasa. So serving such thing, how do we need to be clear on this? So to keep it simple, we have discussed this point. We continue to worship demigod, but the mood is we do not ask for any material benedictions. The people who go to demigod for the material benedictions are unintelligent. But knowing demigods are also great devotees of the Lord, and one who has it only can give it, right? So they have the bhakti for the Lord, and we go to the demigod, begging demigods for the taste for Harinam, begging demigods to rise in our devotional service to the Lord and its devotees. So that is the right way of approaching demigods. So coming into Krishna consciousness, it doesn't say that we should stop worshipping all the demigods, but the mood in which we worship the demigod is most important. And then here the Krishna.
Prabhuji,
Yes, Mata.
Prabhuji, sorry to interrupt. Can we understand like this, the devotees and the general people? So the purpose of devotees, though we saw Lord Krishna, right? But the general people who are not aware of that, so devotees' purpose is, the main purpose is the bringing all, soul guiding them towards the Lord Krishna. The
Yes.
same way it is like the demigods, their purpose is the same.
Yes.
They are also the devotee of Lord, and their purpose is to bring these soul, the
Yes.
humans, towards guiding them towards the Lord Krishna. And if we guided and we are going into the Lord Krishna's lotus feet, their purpose is served, and they become very happy, and they feel very happy for that.
Yes, Mataji. What is important is
Is
what we
my
have.
concept. I'm just trying to connect it and try to
Correct,
understand.
correct. See, now I have told you my own example before. I used to worship Lord Vigneshwara, Lord Ganesha a lot. And I've told in my class previously, every Ganesha Chaturthi, I will have certain targets in my life. And I go to Ganesha Chaturthi, I go to some pandal and I pray in front of Ganesha that this is my list. Next year, I want to achieve all these things. Please help me. And every year, many years it has gone, and every year I have overachieved. To a point where I prayed to Ganesha once that I don't have anything more. You please give me what you feel is right thing for me to progress. Those days I was not even knowing about Krishna consciousness. This is all about 8-10 years back. Then after so many years, it went that every year when I see, without asking anything to Ganesha, every year when I look back in Ganesha Chaturthi, I have prospered so much, both materially and other things. So I was getting more than what I was needed. And then when the time was right, by the mercy of the Lord Vinayaka, I've got the association of devotees and I've got into this Krishna consciousness movement. And today, whenever I visit temple, whenever I am in front of Lord Vigneshwara, I only pray, I only be grateful for whatever he has given me. Most of the devotees who have come into Krishna consciousness are devotees of Lord Shiva. Yeah. So,
yes, Prabhuji.
So these are all like only by their mercy we will be able to progress in Krishna consciousness. So do not disrespect any of the demigods, but you need to be clear what to pray in front of the demigod. Yeah, we are already done with 1.5 hours. What shall we do? Shall we continue and another half an hour and complete this chapter, or let us continue in next chapter? Is to ask your thing, and then we can take a call further. Anything is okay. Already too much of philosophy is loaded. We have another 11 slokas. Shall we do it in next chapter, next class?
Next class, Prabhuji.
Yes, Prabhuji.
Yeah. Today, lot of important aspects from the scriptures we could discuss. Thank you. Appreciate your precious time. Let us end our session here. Hope Kalpana Mataji has shared the screen, and all your OBA are being evaluated. And hopefully by next week, we will announce the result. And appreciate all the devotees who have submitted the OBAs within the timeline. And there were few cases we had to extend to respect all the devotees who have submitted in time. Though we have extended because we want to take along all the devotees who are together. What is been decided is devotees who have submitted late, we will consider their response, but we will give only basic minimum marks to progress to the next level. Only devotees who have submitted their responses in time will be evaluated and will be given the right marks. So this has been discussed. So any differences in the mark, please do not think that it is not been evaluated well. This is the context. We will stop our session here. Any key points which you wish to share from today's session, we can discuss. Any quick questions we can take, and we will end our session here. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Dandavat Pranam Prabhuji.
Pranam. Hare Krishna.
Prabhuji, My takeout point today's class is whenever we chant in Brahma Murta, before chanting that Sikshastakam you told, no, Prabhuji, in that mood we have to chant. Thanks, Prabhuji.
Yes, Mataji, it is such a beautiful. In fact, I've been reciting Sikshastakam for some time. As we progress, these realizations keep coming to us. So what I do is I just give out to whatever I receive from Krishna, I give out to the devotees. So in bhakti, more you give, more you receive.
Thanks, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Dandavat Pranam. So we'll end our session here. Vancha kalpatarubhasya cha kripa sindhubhya eva cha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. अनंत कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की जय, शिला प्रभुपाद की जय, गुरु महाराज की जय, गुरु परंपरा की जय. All glories to assembled devotees. Thank you very much. Happy to see all of them could accommodate and join today evening. Thank you very much. I'm so grateful to you all. Hare Krishna.
Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Thank you.
Thank you. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Prabhuji.